This episode of the Golf Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Michigan, Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need to win. Sign up today. You bet $100, you get $100 at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. State restrictions do apply. All right, D-Gens, welcome back. It's an AT&T preview with a recap of Steve's amazing weekend. That's your boy Boston Capper with the God of Golf himself, Steve Shermer. Steve, what's up, buddy?
You know, that was a statement win yesterday. To basically go on last week's show, complain about the outright market, and tell everybody that you shouldn't bet long shots, and then kind of sweating for a little bit, a long shot, and up at the top of the leaderboard might be putting me in my place, putting me in a closet, but. At the end of the day, the cream lies to the top, and I happen to have the guy on my betting card, Max Homa, 28-1. He went down about 20-1, but I still thought that was a pretty good price. We talked about that.
Yep.
Pretty popular win, seems like, around the community, but you know what? It was a great price. We were looking for value, and it came through. So very happy to be sitting here today with a little bit more money in my accounts.
That's right. You can go bet it on fucking football today.
You froze.
So, did I freeze?
You froze for a second.
Oh, okay.
I thought you were just stunned. Were you just stunned with my, opening monologue?
No, absolutely not. So you get that money so you can lay it down on some NFL today.
Yeah, I did actually a little bit. Maybe at the end we'll go over some props and stuff. I only have player props for Eagles Niners right now. I'm going to wait and see how those go before I start laying stuff on Cincy Chiefs. But yeah, we'll talk about that again. So, Max Homa wins.
Yep.
You showed me a stat about how he's been in what was the stat? Like he's been in the contention 10 times on a Sunday. He's won
10 times, 8 of them. Yeah, and he's never come in second, which is crazy.
That is, I mean, he was nails down the stretch there. That shot he hit on 16.
Oh, the par 3? Yeah.
Unbelievable. So this is actually the story I was gonna say for the podcast. So I was a nervous wreck. Sweating that down the back nine. So my daughter, though, it was around 6:30 or so. She usually watches a couple episodes of the Blues Clues before she goes to bed. She comes in. She's like, Daddy, come watch Blues Clues with me. I'm like, I'm sorry, honey. I got to sweat this golf tournament. And then she's like, oh, golf. So she comes up. She wants to get picked up. And as soon as I pick her up, Homa hits that amazing shot, within 15 feet.
Yeah.
Sam Ryder completely blows it off the planet on the par 4. And then Morikawa, who I bet at 18-1 on after Saturday, he made a long putt for birdie. Homa ends up draining the birdie. All with my daughter in my arms, by the way. We're yelling, we're chanting, we're screaming, we're having a good time. And then Ryder makes that bogey. So you know what? You can all thank my toddler daughter for getting the positive mojo. Yep. Of getting that win. So you know what? I was a good dad too. I didn't just shoo her away. I tried to bring her to the proceedings. So I felt like that was good karma.
Yeah, definitely. By the way, always good to involve the kids, man.
Yep, exactly. So there was another interesting question that came through Slack too about or not Slack, Discord. You probably missed it. People want to bet Homa outright for the Masters. How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I'd have to dig into it a little bit. What's he done though?
He hasn't done anything.
Right.
And that's kind of my point too. So I talked about this in the major preview. I talked about it when I went to Andy Lack's show. Yeah. Typically, guys, when they win their first one, has done something in a major. It doesn't have to be at the end. It could even be like a Gary Woodland situation at the PGA in 2018, where he was 36-hole leader. Yeah. You're in the mix. You know what it's like to be in the fire of the crucible at that point. And maybe it doesn't go well for you at the end, but you're kind of in that mix. Homa has yet to do that.
Yeah.
So. Listen, I think he's a good fit for Augusta. I mean, he's developed to a very good long iron player. He's a really good around the green too. He had a lot of really good up and downs. I can foresee him getting to a first round leader, 36-hole lead, hanging around on Saturday, doesn't quite get it done. But if I see that, that's going to be a green light for me to bet him at the PGA.
Everybody's that's what Twitter's doing. Everybody's already jumped on all over him at 50-1.
Oh, the Masters.
No.
Okay.
At the PGA. Yeah.
Okay. I totally get it. That could be TPC Potomac 2.0.
Yeah.
I mean, just for me personally, I'd rather keep my options open, but I can definitely see myself jumping on Homa for Oak Hill.
Yeah, kid's a stud, man. He's definitely a fucking killer coming down there. We were texting on what? Saturday night. I guess Friday night. This whole week screwed me up, man. Every day felt like a day ahead. It really messed me up.
I know. Yeah, I went to bed on Thursday thinking that great, it's gonna be Saturday. I'm like, shit, I gotta work on tomorrow morning.
Exactly.
How's my video stream, by the way? I see the notification that my bandwidth is low. Am I look okay?
You're a little fuzzy every once in a while. It's fine.
Okay, that's not awesome. Yeah. So it's probably because my wife is watching Netflix right now. Well, hold on. Let me close a couple stuff. If I get bad, I'll hop out. I'll hop back on. Okay.
That's fine.
Okay.
But yeah, I was texting on. I guess it was Thursday night or Friday night. Friday during the day, like, hey, when does Ryder lose this, today or tomorrow? Right? Like and he looked like he had some steely reserve there on the front nine, man. Playing with Rom and Finau, but we know this story, right? We know how it ends. Like, he's going to blow it at some point, and yeah, as soon as he made that one bogey, I was like, yep, let's go. Like, here we go.
Yeah.
Keegan looked fucking amazing, by the way. Let's not bury Keegan. Like, he made some fucking clutch putts coming down. He almost fucking made that long ass putt on 18 too. He looks like a different Keegan. Like, I can't. Yeah, like, he's gonna be on my betting card a lot this year.
He looks different because he lost all the weight. So
obviously, yes.
But he's actually making putts again.
Yeah, it's insane.
So that's good. Listen, you're calling your shot. He's going to win one or two more times this year.
2 times this year.
I got a feeling we're probably all going to vet him at the Valspar again if he's there. Yeah. Do you think he's going to make another run at the Players? He did that last year.
What about Wells Fargo? I feel like he's a fit there too.
At Quail Hollow? Yeah, sure. Yeah, absolutely. So, or even Oak Hill.
Yeah,
possibly. Being a 2-time PGA
Imagine Keegan being a 2-time. I was just about to say, how crazy would that be?
We get an example. Martin Keimer's a 2-time major champion. So that would be kind of a little bit of a similar vein. I think Keimer had slightly better career than Keegan had.
Yeah, because he kind of was on fire for 2 years.
Well, yeah, Keimer caught fire, and then he kind of went a little bit down, and then that 2014 year he won the Players and he won the U.S. Open by $1 billion at Pinehurst. So, other than that though, nailed the outright. That was pretty good. It's kind of funny going all the way back to last fall. When I nailed the outright, usually the rest of my card is kind of junk. It was kind of a junky card. A lot of triggering things happened on Thursday. Hayden Buckley, thanks for going shooting at 80 when I had it for a top 40. Patrick Rogers, same thing with you. And then let's see. Oh, Kevin Yu. You were solidly inside the top 40 and you shot like a 77 today. That was not awesome. Otherwise though, can't complain. How about you? How was the rest of your betting card?
Whatever. Like, I shadow bet Homa. Like, whatever. I'm done with placements. Like, I'm just done with them.
Can I talk you off the ledge?
No.
I need to talk you off the ledge on this because I think you're jumping off 1 week too early. Okay, so just look at the top of the leaderboard, right? Okay, so Homa wins. Keegan, Morikawa, Sahith, Sungjae, Sam Ryder is your top 5.
Yeah.
Jason Day, Rahm, Matsuyama, Finau is your top 10. So right there, you got like 10 guys right atop the odds board. Their top 20 prices are junk.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're not betting that, okay? And then the rest of the top 20, you got Taylor Moore, Ricky, Eric Barnes, you're not betting. Jimmy Walker, you're not betting. Sam Stevens, you're not betting. Bramlett, maybe. We have Rose in there, Xander. So a lot of spots were taken up by guys either you just no shot at betting,
right,
or more premium guys at bad prices.
Yeah. Well,
I think you're jumping off 1 week too early because Pebble's gonna be a little more wide open. You're getting a little better prices. I think for your top 20s.
Right,
there's gonna be a really bad field. I would go 1 more week with it.
My ROI is just so much better on the matchups. Like, I do better at matchups. Like, I added Justin Rose like right before the tournament, right? That was my only fucking placement that hit.
Okay. Well,
it's just frustrating and whatever. Like the one that really pissed me off was Woolsey, obviously, because that's the one I laid heavy on, right? Because I was like, he should at least top 20 in this garbage field, and he proceeds to fucking shit down his leg on Thursday, which is super.
Yeah, you said you were going to put him in the boat. Do you want to give a little spiel on that?
No, like my anger's gone at this point.
Okay,
but like whatever. Like he just that putting stroke. Like I get like whatever swing you're swinging, everybody has their own thing. Like I don't know how the fuck that's sustainable. It's so terrifying to watch when you have
it's loop de loop. Like I think on a 18-inch putt, he hit it off the toe. And it went in.
That's what he hits them all off the toe. Like he's doing it on purpose. Like it's like when I'm hitting it too far right, and I just start aiming way left on the box. Like I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just going where the ball's going today.
Yeah.
Like I hate that. Fuck that shit. No.
I mean, you look at his putting stroke from like 10, 15 feet. It's not that. It is up close. He is like holding on, white knuckling it.
It's insane.
And then it's just willing it in at that point, which I don't know. I mean, that is pretty nervy for, coming down the stretch of a major championship. You got those 3-footers, 2-footers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right.
So, I mean, I know you want to jump into Pebble? We'll do the ad read and then we'll jump into Pebble.
Yeah, why don't we take a quick break and then we'll jump right into Pebble. We're going to make it pretty abbreviated. There's football on. You got to go somewhere, so we'll make this quick.
Yeah. All right, so listen, WynnBET is the official online sportsbook of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. WynnBET is active in a bunch of states, and there are tons of ways to win, including live betting and same-game parlays. The NFL playoffs are here. Great promos, odds, and payouts are happening right now at WynnBET. If you're ready to play, sign up today to receive an offer. You bet $100, you get $100. It's limited state availability. And, of course, if you hit that biggest long shot parlay of the week, you get $1,000 in free credit. There's so much to choose from, and all you have to do is head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WynnBET so they know we sent you. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET. Offer is subject to change. Terms and conditions over at wynnbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where playthrough WynnBET is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. Okay. Did you want to add anything else? I'm also trying to cut you off. Did you want to add?
Yeah, I want to add one more thing. So this is kind of a postscript to my little spiel about long shots. I'm actually going to be doing a research project that's probably going to come out in Zurich. I'm looking back since 2008. How often long shots hit. And I'm saying a long shot 75-1 because, books are different. Right. There's a chance somebody got steamed up. I'm using Jeff Sherman's website. He has a full archive. So over the last 29 tournaments, though, basically since the PGA Championship last year, only 3 guys over 75-1 have won a tournament on the PGA Tour.
I can think of one. Spawn. Who were the other 2?
No, Spawn was before the PGA.
Oh, okay.
So I'm talking about since Live split.
Okay.
It is Mackenzie Hughes, Sanderson, Adam Svensson at RSM, and Trey Mullinax at the Barbasol, which is an opposite field event.
Yeah, I don't think we covered that one.
No, it isn't. So this is just, we're going to keep going and going with this.
Well, what do you think about this? This transitions into Pebble. Fucking 85% of the field is long shots. You know what I mean? Like the numbers are going to be garbage, but really, this field is horrific.
Well, that's my point. Is a lot of guys who should be long shots are now seeing their odds pushed up.
Right, I know.
So they're not really long shots anymore.
That's true.
Is my point. So this is a good litmus test for it. Like I said, though, if I miss out this week, I miss out this week. I'm going to keep focusing on the range that has been hitting more often, because to me, hitting outrights is a numbers game. I just want to have the most opportunities to have guys in the mix, and it's just going to fall my way sometimes. Yeah. So, and that's just what's been happening since basically last May. And I'm just going to keep doing it until I see otherwise.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's talk about Pebble Beach, AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. I have my article out. It's got the videos of all 3 courses, some description about some things I like about them, some things I don't. We're just going to jump right into betting strategies, though, because Capper, you have to leave. There's football on. We want to enjoy our Sunday. So,
yes.
So let's start with, and Capper, feel free to chime in and cut me off if you have a question. Okay.
Got it. Yep.
All right. Pebble Beach Pro-Am is 3 courses. You got Pebble Beach, which everybody knows about. Everybody's going to play it at least once over the first 3 days, and then everybody's going to play on Sunday. You got Spyglass Hill, which is a Robert Trent Jones design. Has a pretty good opening stretch of holes, and then it goes up into inland through the woods. Not quite as strong of a golf course. We'll talk about a little bit of what works there. What works at Spyglass is a little different than what works at Pebble and Monterey Peninsula. On the Monterey Peninsula, Mike Strant's redesign. That's a very good golf course, right by the ocean, very pretty. All these golf courses are very short. Pebble Beach is going to play 6,960 yards. Spyglass is a little longer at 7,041 yards. Monterey Peninsula, 6,957 yards. These are the some of the shortest collection of golf courses on the PGA Tour, at least like composition wise. The par 4s and 5s of Pebble Beach. Unfortunately, there's no shot link data at Spyglass and Monterey. So just like at the Amex, you're going to be having to deal with just stats for Pebble.
So fun.
Yep, I know. But Pebble Beach alone, their par fours and fives collectively average about 443 yards in length. That is the third shortest length of all golf courses, at least 5 turns played since 2015 on the PGA Tour. Considering the short yardages of Spyglass and the fact that you can hit driver a lot more there than some of those other places, Monterey Peninsula is under 7,000 yards. You can assume the same thing. A lot of really short holes this week. Possibly there might be the golf course might be a little lengthened just because it's received about 20 inches of rain since January 1st. Because of the atmospheric flood or
Didn't a hole get fucked up? Didn't a hole get destroyed? Was that here?
That was at Monterey Peninsula, and that might have been the other course.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, that was a couple of weeks ago. By then, it should be fine. But yeah, there was a giant wave that just came in and washed over, I think, a couple bunkers and onto a green at the Dunes course, I think. But still, regardless, I mean, it's right by the ocean. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some damage there. All 3 golf courses feature the same exact grass type. They all feature ryegrass and Pebble mixed turf and fairways and rough. Pro-Am and greens. The rough is not as thick at what it is as the U.S. Open. Usually the U.S. Open grows up about 3.5, 4 inches. This is going to be like 2.5. So there isn't much of a penalty of hitting it into the rough. When you got 2.5 inch ryegrass, the ball can sit up a little bit. It's one of the least pinnable golf courses to hit into the rough on the PGA Tour. The green size, let's talk about that. So Pebbles has the smallest greens on the PGA Tour. They average about 3,500 square feet. And the reason for that is, because it is a destination golf course, they can't really, take time to shut the course down, do some maintenance to it. And with mowing patterns over the years, it shrinks the greens just over time. And also, sand builds up on the edges, creates little ridges around everything. So it shrinks the green over time, basically. Spyglass Hill is a little larger. It's about 5,000 square feet, which is still small for PGA Tour standards. Monterey Peninsula is the biggest of the bunch. It's 6,000 square feet. That might be the reason why it's the easiest of the 3 golf courses historically, because it has a little bigger greens and it's still a short golf course. So collectively over 72 holes, the average green size is 4,500 square feet. Small targets. You're going to be hearing a lot of that this week.
Yeah.
The only I've been talking about this, there's been subtle changes at each golf course over the last couple of weeks. The only real changes this year was Spyglass and Monterey Peninsula had some cosmetic alterations done. It's not material. It's not important. Basically what they did was they took areas that aren't in play for professionals. I mean, it might be in play for you and me, but basically between the tee and the beginning of the fairway, they took out a lot of grass. They basically made it a little more natural looking. It's just for maintenance purposes. On Monterey Peninsula, they expanded a couple waste bunkers. They also replaced a fairway bunker on number 2. It was replaced with a tree and a couple of mounts. These are not going to change how the golf course plays. It's just an interesting note that basically entertains guys like me and Andy Lack when they say that. So let's talk about scoring. So Pebble Beach is usually, most years, it's fairly difficult. But the last 2 years, because of soft conditions, not a lot of wind, and just guys hit it a lot longer nowadays, where they have a lot shorter approach shots, and they're just better with their wedges in general. These guys have tore up Pebble Beach. 2021, the COVID year, the average score of Pebble Beach was basically a stroke under par per round. Last year was a stroke and a half under par. So the only true defense of Pebble is if there's wind. Otherwise, guys are going to go low because, as I'll talk about in a little bit, a lot of really short approach shots at Pebble Beach. 2 of the par 5s are very gettable. Now, looking at the weather forecast this week, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of wind, at least the first 3 days. Might be a little bit of wind on Sunday, but as far as, you're worried about a guy who's going to get boned, with the wind splits, doesn't really look like that's the case. If there is wind during the first 3 days, playing in windy conditions at Pebble usually is you're worse off doing that. You actually, if it's windy, probably want to play Spyglass because it's a little more protected. There's more trees. Not as much can go wrong there as it can at a Pebble when the wind is blowing. Right. So that's something to look. But in general, though, there's no wind for showdown purposes. Pebble, Monterey, definitely you want to play those guys. Spyglass, probably shade away. Although Spyglass still, the scoring there is, it's not quite as difficult as it used to be. Gotcha. So as far as approach shot standards, actually, let's talk about the fairway.
It's 125 an in, right?
Well, yeah, I'll get to the proximity. I'm talking about actually, let me talk about dry off the tee first. Sure. So Pebble Beach, the driving accuracy rates at Pebble Beach are about 74%. There's a couple of reasons why. First, about 40-yard wide fairways, very generous landing zones. The fairways are going to be really soft. So if the ball just hits short grass, it's probably going to stay. It's not going to roll into the rough. And there are a lot of holes, too, where you can take less than driver, either because it's more of a positional hole, the hole bottlenecks, or the fairways kind of run out kind of short ways. Guys are hitting from the fairway a lot at Pebble Beach, and that kind of explains why scoring is usually pretty good there. But the green regulation rate is still only 65%. It's because of Pebble Beach, really small greens. Last couple of years, though, the green regulation rate has improved a lot. It's been close to 70% clip. That's helped explain why scoring is down. Guys are just, for whatever reason, having more success hitting into these greens the last 2 years than it was the prior couple of years. So that's something to keep in mind, too. But it just seems like because of how much rain this tournament has gotten, the greens are going to be really soft. I expect this to be kind of target practice once again, especially if there's no wind. Let's talk about around the green. So Pebble Beach features the easiest around the green conditions, or the 5th easiest around the green conditions on the PGA Tour. And of all the active PGA Tour courses, it's the 8th easiest. And there's a couple of reasons for this too. So for starters, there's a lot of thick rough right off of the green. So the ball's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to run into a collection area. And the greens are really small. So it's not a really short distance for you to try to get back on the green. Whereas like you get to maybe a bigger green with bigger undulations, that can be a little trickier to try and get up and down. And also the greens are going to run pretty slow. So once you chip back onto the green, it's not going to roll out of really long ways unless you catch, the wrong side of a slope. So getting up and down or just scrambling in general is a fairly easy task at Pebble. Now putting though, kind of like last week at Torrey Pines, very tough. It is the second toughest golf course to putt from under 5 feet and from between 5 and 15 feet. And the thing that is similar to Torrey Pines is the Pro-Am. So just like last week, targeted guys who are pretty comfortable putting on the surface. I know Kevin Kisner is in this field this week. I don't think he has much success putting on West Coast POA in his career, even though he's a very good putter. Yeah. That might be somebody to maybe fade. Or just guys in general who maybe are a little more, they just focus on Bermuda. They don't do well with this stuff. That's something to keep in mind as far as looking at, guys are going to do pretty well here. So you got any questions before I get into like skill sets and everything like that? Okay. All right. We'll just keep rolling. So
I thought Kisner was in this field.
Yeah, he actually, I looked at the field last night and he's in. So this is the first time he's played this year. Actually, it's a couple times, couple of guys the first time they played. So Fitzpatrick, he didn't play over in the Middle East. So,
yeah, I just look because Seamus played in Dubai.
Yep, Seamus been in the Middle East. Fitzpatrick hasn't played since the Century. Hovland hasn't played since the Century.
Yeah.
So they're coming in a little more rust. Spieth hasn't played since Sony. So maybe this is a tournament where guys been playing a little more recently that are going to be like 25 to like 60 to 1. That might be where I'm betting this week because I generally don't like playing guys who haven't at least teed it up in a competitive tournament in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's probably Seamus might be a good play. All right. So skill set chart. So Pebble Beach, a negative correlation in terms of driving distance and success at Pebble Beach because driving distance can be neutralized at Pebble Beach, short yardages. Some of the holes are less than driver. Iron play, there's a positive correlation, same thing with putting. All right. So Spyglass Hill. That actually is a golf course where guys who are longer tend to have a little bit of an advantage, and it's for a couple of reasons. Number one, Spyglass, the holes, especially once you get inland, are much more out in front of you and linear, where basically the only thing you have to worry about is there's a fairway bunker, but you can carry that. You kind of just wail away. Second of all, once you get past the fairway bunkers, like anybody who can carry it like 290, 300 off the box, the fairway widens significantly. So at about 250 to 270 yards, the fairways is about 27 yards wide. But once you get about 290, 300, it expands to 32 yards. Now, 15 yards or 5 yards doesn't sound like a big difference, but like for elite players like this, like 15 feet of extra room is significant. So guys who can hit it out pretty far at Spyglass tend to have a pretty good advantage. And then obviously if you're a good iron player, a good putter there, we just talked about the POA, those generally have positive correlations. And then Monterey Peninsula, that's pretty similar skill set chart to Pebble Beach. Pretty much off the tee does not matter there. really wide fairways, and it's kind of short yardage too. Guys of all walks of life off the tee can do well there, but you got to be good, really good iron players to really well at Monterey, really good putters, pretty good scramblers too. So I actually I summarized all of this in my article this week. Each skill set chart, all 5 of them, as far as like negatives and positive and neutrals. So distance, less importance on distance this week. Almost no predictability with guys who are accurate and inaccurate at this tournament at all. At all 3 golf courses, there's a negative correlation or just no correlation in general with how accurate you are off the tee and your success here. High correlation of approach game. All of them, all 3 golf courses had positive correlation with that. Around the green, it's a little important just because it's positive correlation at Monterey and Spyglass, net neutral at Pebble, and putting. All 4, again, they're all Pebble greens. All of them have positive correlation being a good putter. So really it comes down to approach play and putting. That's the biggest things to look at this week. Maybe a little bit around the green, because particularly like the skill set that tends to do well at some of these shorter tournaments tend to be good scramblers too. I'm not necessarily saying like that's going to determine how well you do, but it's just the profile fit.
Yep.
Those are going to be the areas I look at. Like last week, I was really just looking at long iron play and off the tee. Now it's iron play, putting, that stuff. So, and then lastly, these approach shot distribution charts. So the only one we have is at Pebble Beach. So there's a higher than average amount of approach shots between 75 and 125, and a higher amount between 200 and 250. Those are mostly the par 5s and a couple of the par 3s. Not a lot of approach shots between 150 and 200. About PG Tour average from 125 to 150, but that's only 2 rounds.
Yeah.
So I actually last year I went through Google Earth. I estimated Spyglass and Monterey Peninsula about how long those approach shots were going to be. I put the data in my article. So it's in summary though, less than 150 yards, about 47% of all your shots are going to be from less than 150. Between 150 and 200, you got about 24% of your shots, and then over 200 yards, you got 29% of your shots. So looking at Pebble's distribution between 150, between 150 and 175, if I assume that's the same at the other 3 golf courses, if I look at everything under 175 this week, that's going to be about 63% of coverage. And then I can probably just look at, I don't know, par 3 scoring or par 5 scoring to cover the stuff over 200. That's the proximity and scoring range I'm looking at this week is under 175. It's a lot of short irons. Typically the profile of guys do well at Pebble, tend to hit their short irons really good. That's what I'm going to be looking at this week.
Yeah, I think we did the same thing last year, and I mean it's pretty predictable as far as who was going to do well, other than a couple randos in like the top 10.
Right. Okay.
Man,
all right. You want to try and guess? You want to try and guess the odds?
That's what I was literally just. I was like, man, what do you think? The Spieth's going to be what, 5-1?
No, I don't think so.
10.
So you got 3 big fish in that. You got Hovland, Fitzpatrick, Spieth. I think Hovland's going to go off at 8-1.
Okay.
Because I think people know that his success at Pebble, either the US Am win or his T12 as an amateur there. I think Fitzpatrick's going to be 10-1. I think Spieth's going to be like 12-1. Or 10, or maybe 10-1.
10-1.
And then probably a big drop off after that. Like who else is in this field even? Like
Seamus.
Seamus probably, I'm going to guess
18.
16 or 18.
Yeah.
Mav McNeely probably 20.
Yeah.
Taylor Montgomery's no longer in this field, so we don't have to worry about him.
Okay.
God, this field stinks.
This field's fucking terrible, man.
Tom Hoagie, he's probably going to be like 20-1 because he won last year. He can repeat.
Yeah.
And then you're probably going to have like
what?
Let's look through the list here.
Yeah, so I'm looking at it. I don't even know who the hell's in the. I don't know who's in the 20s in this.
Probably Joel Damon might be like 60-1. Dietrich might be 50-1. Let's see.
This is gross.
God,
Will Gordon.
This is rough.
What did Lanto end up doing last week? He made the cut, right?
Lanto was in the mix, and he kind of faded a little bit. Kuchar's probably going to be, I guess, 50-1 is my guess. Gross. Justin Rose is probably going to be like 35-1. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Rose is probably going to be like 25-1. He had a good weekend. Yeah, he's going to be, I think, a popular bet this
Russell
week.
Knox.
He's probably
like 30s to 40s.
He'll probably be like, no, I don't think Knox will be.
Oh, Keith Mitchell. Keith Mitchell.
Keith will be like 35-1. Pendrith will probably be like 50-1 because his odds just aren't moving. Andrew Putnam, he'll be like 30-1. Yeah, so like it's a tough scene for outrights again. So I'm probably I don't think I'm going to bet anybody. I don't think I'm going to bet Hovland, Fitzpatrick, Spieth. If they end up winning, they end up winning.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to try and bet between like 20 and 90.
Yeah.
And then if like, I don't know, Doc Redman wins at 150, I don't really care. I'm gonna miss that one. Yeah. If Taylor Moore wins at like 100-1, I'm probably not going to care. So it is what it is. Right.
Yeah. I think I texted you the other day. I was like, all right, I'm betting Seamus, and now what? Like, you know what I mean?
Or
like what the hell?
Or you could do what we talked about last night.
Yeah.
And just single bullet Hovland.
Yeah. I just don't like the fact he hasn't played in a while.
He hasn't. But there's the narrative that you missed out on Fitzpatrick winning the USAM and then winning there at Brookline, and now Hovland won the USAM at Pebble, and this would be his first win on U.S. soil. How great would that be?
Oh my God! If it happens again, I don't know what to do. I don't know what I'll do.
No, that might be the end of the show.
No, listen, I've taken worse losses. Okay. Yeah, man. I don't know, dude. Pebble sucks. Like, and it's the 9-hour rounds, the fucking 2 hours of Bill Murray.
Yeah, this is not a good viewing experience. Which is, listen, like the PGA Tour could own this weekend.
I know, they're so stupid.
There's nothing going on, and this is the crap tournament they have on. Which, listen, it's going to get views from the baby boomers because they love seeing Bill Murray on there. They love seeing Larry the Cable Guy. Like, they don't care about really what's going on with the PGA Tour event. They just want to see the celebrities, and you're going to get, especially if like Fitzpatrick, Hovland, and Spieth like don't do well.
Oh, God.
You are going to get so much celebrity shots.
Yeah, unbelievable. So I texted you last night. Nate Bargatze, I don't know if you know who he is. He's fucking hilarious. He cracks me up. And he loves golf. So hopefully they'll interview him at least for one of the celebrity ones. Because some of these guys are fucking stiffs. Like, they can't even get good celebrities out here. Fucking, I don't even know who half these people are.
I mean, Josh Allen's going to play.
Buster Posey, I'm sure that makes all you Buffalo friends.
Look, so Josh Allen might play good, but it's gonna be cold, and unfortunately, Pebble doesn't want to spend the money to put a dome over the course, so I don't think he's gonna be that great.
It's awesome. Nice troll.
Sorry, I had to get that in.
Well done.
A lot of chatter in Western New York about how the taxpayers probably should pony up for a roof, which
unbelievable.
I'm not in favor of that because I'm not a Bills fan. I live in Rochester, New York. My taxes are already too high.
Yeah, no. I am so against fucking taxpayers paying for any fucking sports team's stadium. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, maybe revamp your team that isn't the 2000 St. Louis Rams. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh shit.
Okay.
Christ, what a joke. All right, what do you got for football today? Who you like?
So I think we agree. I think the Eagles are gonna roll today.
Yep.
I have a lot of intimate knowledge being at that stadium, going to games. And I just don't see a young quarterback coming through there. Listen, I think you and I have kind of shared this view. I think Kyle Shanahan is kind of overrated.
Yeah, he's way overrated.
Yeah, and the Niners haven't really been like, they've been beating up a lot of crap teams. This has got to be like the best team they played in a while, and they didn't even look all that great against Dallas. So
Dallas gets a ton of pressure, and they were able to slow that offense down. And Philly's fucking got animals on the defensive line, so they're going to be able to get pressure too. So
yeah, and I think Philly's receivers are going to have a really good game. I got a couple. So I went through and looked at how the Niners have been against receivers. A lot of really big physical receivers have had a lot of success against them. CeeDee Lamb also, he's kind of like a good combination of like quickness and speed, and you got Devontae Smith, who's pretty quick. They like throwing little bubble screens at him or just send him out deep. AJ Brown's going to work over the middle, kind of like a DK Metcalf type. They've had trouble with him this year. I think the Niners or the Eagles receivers are going to do pretty good. I also like the long field goal. I don't think I told you this, or no, maybe I did tell you this last night.
46.5.
Yeah. So 46.5. It's going to be a southwest wind. That means the north end of the stadium is going to have a tailwind. So You're going to have two competent kickers, too, and Robbie Gould and Jake Elliott. Both of them are pretty good from longer range. I'm a little concerned that Nick Sirianni, it seems like I looked at Jake Elliott's stats. He's only attempted 2 field goals between 40 and 50 yards this year. Seems like
go for it so much.
Yeah, that's the thing. But I just like the conditions of the weather to allow for a longer field goal. And, of course, the golf guy gravitates towards a prop that dictates from weather and turf conditions.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
it's on brand, baby. On brand. Yeah, well, I don't know what to do with the KC Cincy game.
I don't know either. I'm worried that Casey's been hearing all week about how the Bengals own them.
Yeah.
And I'm worried that the Bengals already used up the chip on their shoulder mojo. Like it's gone.
Maybe.
So we'll see. I mean, I on paper I like Cincinnati a lot better, but it's football, and
I don't know what I'm gonna do on that one. I'm gonna bet it because it's fucking, you know what I mean. But maybe I'll dig a little deeper into props. Well, the props are so fucking juiced up, and the first TD Mac is garbage now. Like anytime touchdown is garbage. Like I don't know. We'll see. Mm-hmm. I think the Bruins play at 6 too, and I have a huge.
Don't bet on hockey today. You already lost enough.
Unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Sigh. All right. Well, tomorrow night we got Ryan Baroff on to help break down the DFS card. He's already touting Jimmy Walker, so this should be interesting. He loves fucking trash players. Like we already talked about his love for Woodland. He said he wouldn't do it anymore, and of course he was on him again this week. So yeah, I'm interested to hear what Baroff is going to be able to dumpster dive through some of these dirtbags at the bottom, and hopefully come up with some gems. But other than that, happy fucking conference championship day. We'll see you boys tomorrow night. Let's go.